everybody. Happy Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
Sorry. Happy Valentine's Day. I'm gonna be honest, this is the first time I've said that out loud today because
really?
I ain't had nothing to celebrate. Whoa. But
it's real. Happy Valentine's Day to everybody. Thanks for joining us. We're all wrestling fans. I doubt you guys had other plans, but maybe if you did.
Are you saying
I'm working on being nicer. I'm doing a whole rebrand. It hasn't worked, so y'all gotta check me when it's not working. So but happy Valentine's Day.
I'm always doing a rebrand. It's okay. Oh, somebody said we look gorgeous. Oh, thank you. Oh hi everybody. Oh my God. Let's get into it. So we started off the card with Jon Moxley versus Dax Harwood. The match was good. I will say this. However, there's no secret. I am not the biggest FTR fan. And although I am a huge fan of the smooches in wrestling, I live for it. The mid-match smooch. Mox, not him. Anybody but him.
But we all have kisses we regret, okay? And sometimes we do. Sometimes you're in the moment, okay, and you go for it, okay? And sometimes you just have to check yourself tomorrow. So Mox, I don't want to see you do it again, okay? Bald is not the one. I thought the match was good. I gotta be honest, I'm not all that excited for a potential, Dax Harwood singles run, because but
Hey, listen, respectfully, we might have to prepare ourselves because them charges on.
Look, you said it, not me. But allegedly,
dun, dun, dun.
We have a good lawyer. But yeah, so I don't know. The match was good. I enjoyed it. I had fun. Jon Moxley doesn't have bad matches, There were a couple spots in there that made me, sit up a little taller. But honestly, I did feel like it was overall kind of forgettable. Like I wasn't.
Yeah,
by the end of the show.
Out of all the matches on the card, am I gonna rewatch that whenever? Probably not. But hey, I love seeing Jon Moxley. And yeah, like I said, all for mid-match smooches. That wasn't the one. Not the right dance partner for that one, Mox. Let's go have a rematch with Hangman. I like that. Go do that. Like, go do that. I just felt like coochies everywhere just dried up. It just like. So
I won't disagree with you.
Everywhere. But anyway, the match was good. Afterwards, we had Mox kept choking Dax, and then Cash comes out and started beating on Mox, and then Claudio Castagnoli comes out like the knight in shining armor.
Beat that hoe.
I love Claudio, and I love how he comes out in the new merch that they have with the
he thwacked that bitch. I said, okay, handled.
So I'm a fan of the Blackpool Combat Club. The BCC chants were perfect. I'm just in my BCC era. I'm a BCC lifer. I'm a BCC truther. Obviously, earlier, like 2 hours before this, it was announced that the BCC will be in Arena Mexico.
Yeah, CMLL crossover. We love you.
And we will finally get that Blue Panther Bryan Danielson.
I'm up.
Oh, I'm so up. We are also going to get Willow Nightingale in a 6-woman tag versus Stephanie Vicaire. Unfortunately, one of her partners is Tessa Blanchard, but I'm choosing to forget that.
I'm not. Here's what I'll say. Tessa Blanchard, please, you are welcome anytime on Black Girl Wrestling. We just want to talk. All right? So I know how you like to get down. All right.
I know how you girls like to tussle.
I promise you that it will not be a safe space in any capacity, but you are more than welcome. That's all.
It's not safe for you. Somebody asked, how do we watch CMLL? I'm also trying to figure that out myself, but from what I've gathered, I believe that they have a YouTube subscription system.
I'm like, you mean legally? Oh.
Yeah, they have a YouTube system. Man, chill, man. Yes, they have a YouTube subscription system.
You were the first one that ever sent me a link you weren't supposed to, so I don't want to hear it.
Yeah, I did. I'm trying to be better now. This too. I'm rebranding as well.
We're healed. Yeah, it's fine.
We're healed. But so that's going to be on their YouTube, and I think I'm actually going to get that legally. Because CMLL is supposed to officially enter my rotation this year. But moving forward, next we had a promo, I believe, from the Don Callis family. And you know what? I'm not gonna lie. I went into this, I said, oh, what does he want? Oh, what does he want? I'm sick of this. But this is the only time in a very long time that I've actually been happy to hear what Don Callis has had to say. And he said, everybody running, nobody from the outside of the family want to fight Takeshita because he's just too good at what he does. Nobody want to fight Hobbs. And so we decided to just keep it within the family. And so for Revolution, it's going to be Will Ospreay versus Konosuke Takeshita.
Oh my God. The tears. Oh my God, Lyric, I promise you, I saw that. I had like a visceral reaction. My sister said, "What noise did you just make?" I said, "You guys don't understand. You guys don't get it."
You live for Konosuke Takeshita.
Takeshita, it is Valentine's Day. I know you didn't wrestle today, so I know you I know you have some time, but it's cool. You can hit me up later. We'll talk about it. But I saw that match announcement. I was like, oh my God, this match it was born for me personally. Okay, we're soulmates. It's going to provide for my children. Okay.
Absolutely.
We're going to get married in Vegas. We're eloping, me in this match. Okay. I want to be buried next to it.
You see the graphic?
I haven't.
The graphic is kind of beautiful. I kind of want to frame it on my wall.
Oh
I don't know.
I need it so biblically. It's not even funny. That was literally you guys don't get it. Ospreay styles. I'm
excited to see what he pulls out, like, because he's been doing like a lot of like the gears that he's been doing this year. Like he did the Assassin's Creed for Wrestle Kingdom, and then he did the Misawa gear for his last New Japan match, which I thought was
great.
Oh, and so a lot of people try to like do the Misawa cosplays, but his actually
it hit
his jacket and the tights perfect. Like those are actual something that I think that Misawa would wear, and so it was just. I'm so interested to see what happens here. I hope that it's a clean finish, and if it's not, I hope that means that everybody is turning on Don Callis. I said this on Twitter, but I think that it could be very interesting to see if Will Ospreay created like an AEW wing of the United Empire. Like, you have Kyle and Mark are Australian, Takeshita's Japanese, Hobbs is American, he's British, and so that's United Empire is always about getting people from different countries together on one accord. So the possibilities are endless. But
I think the UN, honestly,
the wrestling UN.
No, literally.
Is Davis ready again sometime soon? I think he should be.
I think so. Yeah.
He went down with that wrist injury, and that was Wrestle Dream. I believe that was Wrestle Dream. Yeah. In the FTR match. So that was Wrestle Dream, and so I think that he's fine. It looks like he's been posting pictures of him training and stuff. So I'm ready to see Mark Davis back. I'm a Mark Davis truther. So
I'm an Aussie Open girl down. Okay.
Yeah. Aussie, oi. Oi. So yes, there's that. After that, we had a Wardlow squash match. This is my least favorite part of the card. Have no idea why it was here. And I had the sound down.
You didn't miss anything.
Yeah, I saw that. Adam Cole was on commentary. I don't know. Wardlow isn't working for me. I don't know if he's working for y'all. It's just I feel like this ship has left the harbor. It's not coming back.
You know what it feels like? Oh, I can't say that. I was gonna say, right? You remember when this is insane? When those people got on that submersible. And we, the rest of the world, were all sitting here, and we were like, maybe there's hope. Let it go.
Listen. Listen. Wardlow went looking for the Titanic and he ran out of air.
I'm sorry.
That'll do it.
I mean, because you remember like those like it was like a week where we were all sitting there and we were like, maybe, you know.
But
I'm rooting for it. They still have a little bit of oxygen left. They didn't.
They go.
They didn't.
They go. They're finished.
Father, Son, Holy Spirit.
The comment said that we need to be put in timeout for that. I'm sorry.
You know what? That's fair. I'll take that. That was. I knew it was insane before I said it though, so I feel like that cancels it out.
I will say though, even though it was insane,
was it inaccurate?
Does not mean it was wrong. It doesn't mean you're incorrect. You ever see that Anthony Mackie? He's wild, but he's right.
And you know what? Going along with it, right? Like thinking about the submersive, there was no reason that it shouldn't have worked. Like you had all those rich people, they thought they had everything figured out. They thought they knew better than all of us commoners who were like, don't get on that shit. And then they did it anyway. We have Wardlow in this situation where everybody's like, oh, it's gonna work. Why wouldn't it work? Common sense. It's not working out. Pivot. Do something different. These 36 squat matches.
True. That is true. It's a wild analogy, but it's a good analogy because they really have put everything behind Wardlow, right? Like they put him with Arn Anderson, put him with Samoa Joe, they put him with Christian Cage, they put him with like literally all these people that just about anybody else can get over with. But for some reason, when it comes to you,
it's not working, girl. It's like if every person you date is like, we should go to couples therapy. Therapy itself is good, but if you have to go every time, the common denominator is you.
On that note, let's pivot to the next match, and we had Daniel Garcia versus Adam Copeland. Listen, this was booked for me. I live for content. Hearing Metalingus on Dynamite makes me smile so much. For those of you who have been watching the show for a while, you know that my favorite childhood wrestler was Edge, and I literally, him coming to AEW means everything to me. And the fact that like he's taking this run seriously, he's had these excellent matches, he's like completely like reinvented himself. I'm such a fan. He looks great.
Yeah,
he moves great. Mm-hmm. And then he wrestled heel here, and heel Adam Copeland, the rated R superstar.
That girl.
And Dani Garcia is getting more over by the literal week. He has been fantastic coming off of the Continental Classic. He's a star. Seeing these two work together, it just made me smile. And I was like, I don't want anybody to lose. And then guess what? Nobody lost. It was great.
So I won.
And I'm typically not a fan of dirty finishes in AEW. I'm typically not a fan. However, that Christian Cage is my favorite sports entertainer.
Me too.
Because there's no way you pulled up with your entire family, and then he sent Nick and Kill Switch first, and him and his matriarch took their sweet time walking down that ramp. And also Shayna Wayne, girl, she's a brick.
I was about to say her body T.
I found her Instagram the other day, and I've never been the same.
my sister literally wasn't even paying attention. She was like, "Damn!" I was like, "Hey, man, I respect."
Wow.
I respect it.
Ta-dow!
Body is a baddie.
Anybody ever heard "Ta-dow" by Masego? Like ta-dow!
Please, ma'am, this is a Wendy's drive-thru. But I loved this match. I thought they complemented each other so well. I knew when they first announced it, I was like, yeah, that's finna hit. That's absolutely finna hit. Yeah, Adam Copeland has been on an absolute tear with his Cope Open, is how he's calling it. And it's really given a lot of people the opportunity to showcase what they can do. And even though this finish was a bit messy, Daniel Garcia, everybody came across really protected from it still. And it was believable because we were all sitting there like, yeah, Christian Cage really is that much of a dick. Like all of this makes sense. I had a great time watching this match. And this will be because Hangman was there, but I was going to say Daniel Garcia didn't post me today. It is Valentine's, so I'm not sure what that's about, but we can talk about it later.
Well, you have beef with Daniel Garcia, Konosuke Takeshita, and Hangman Page?
Well, here's the thing. Hangman's married. I feel like DG and Takeshita, I feel like that's attainable. One of these days, damn it.
Right.
One or the other. Maybe,
you're so right.
Hey. But the match was great. Yeah, and I'm excited to see. Yeah, I don't know if we're gonna do another triple threat. Because obviously we've got the world title as a triple threat. What do you want to see?
I'm just happy to be here. I don't know. Like, I love this part of wrestling. Like, when I get into one of those modes of, like, I will say, for the most part, I'm super happy with the AEW product. There's some things that I still, like, don't 100% like. Like, for example, like the Wardlow stuff. Like, it doesn't. Oh, FTR, yeah. Duh. And Chris Jericho. Like, but outside of those things, I'm just so happy with the product to the point where, like, just like, hey, like, any combination of these guys, I'm a fan. Maybe it's going to be a tag match, like maybe it's going to be Christian and Nick Wayne versus, Cope and Garcia. Who knows?
I do need Nick Wayne back in the ring.
Yeah, and he wrestled last week, I think.
Yeah. But I'm like, let's make sure that you're not just like an errand boy. Because I want him to get the reps that he deserves and needs. But yeah,
I think that they're going to probably, in these weeks leading into Revolution, we're going to see like some variation of these matches, like whether it's matches, probably Garcia versus Wayne at some point. So I'm super excited. Like I think like it could go any type of way. Like I'm like stack the card, get everybody. Really? Like this is supposed to be a super show. It's supposed to be historic. So like go big or go home. The thing is like, for actual AEW fans, everybody's going to dig it. So if the show goes long, guess what? People are going to be invested. It's Sting's last match. These are the type of shows that, hey, if you want to do a 4-hour card, this is the one time where people don't want the night to end, so do it, So I'm all fine with like loading it up. But like I really enjoyed this stuff here. I think that Christian is so funny because he holds that title like it's a newborn baby.
I know, he kissed it.
A newborn baby. And he said, like, y'all been talking to each other about my championship. Like, I'm not here. Are you crazy? Are you nuts?
That was a fair point.
Also, I need that Christian is my father shirt. I have plans on purchasing it. I will be wearing that on Father's Day. Christian is my father.
I couldn't. The one he had last week was like just said the patriarchy. I was like, I don't know if I could rep that. Yeah. That feels like a bit much, but I'll get the new one.
Absolutely. 100%. I agree. I can't wear the patriarchy on me.
Yeah.
It's my feminist beliefs.
Yeah.
But I will call you my father. Absolutely. Hey, I might be backwards. Who cares? And Miss Shayna Wayne, God bless you. God bless you. The family had matching turtlenecks.
Can we talk about she hit the hell out of that man.
He did. He really did.
I was like, whoa, that was a lot.
Mama Wayne been in the booth. She been working on her acting. She's been working on her emotions. I'm telling you, one of my favorite promos of last year was, "You boo me? You boo a mother?"
I said, you know what? Great
so
point,
simple, but so effective. I like that. I like that a lot, Mama Wayne. Next, we had Hangman. We had Hangman, Samoa Joe, and Swerve Strickland. They were doing their promos talking about their triple threat match. Samoa Joe was out first. He's absolutely lovely.
The change in tone talking about this segment is so crazy. Your voice went up 3 octaves.
I'm just a girl. Samoa Joe did a lovely job. Absolutely amazing, sensational, aura. He actually, when he says he's going to kill you, he sounds like he actually means it. He was saying that y'all are losers. Neither of y'all beat, and I can't believe that y'all got a consolation prize off of a draw. Is this what we accept now? Y'all are losers, but
is this what we are?
None of you are going to take anything from me. Then Swerve comes out with Nana dancing his ass off. I will say, Swerve looked a little beat down today. You know, so? His drip wasn't like his usual stuff. He looked a little beat down, like his soul is getting crushed. Like, just you could tell he got a monkey on his back named Hangman Adam Page. Like, it's just you could tell he's irritated. Like, it's
I would be too, though.
Oh, so, absolutely.
You know,
he looks like super irritated. Like, I don't know. Like, he just torn. He seems very conflicted. Conflicted is the right word I'm looking for. Conflicted between like the Joe stuff, like, yes, I want this title, and yes, like I want to focus on this, and yes, I'm a winner. Look at how great I am. But also, I am literally enthralled in the craziest fight of my life with this man. And then Hangman his music didn't even hit. He just started yelling.
Yeah.
He just started yelling.
And at the crowd reaction here, I was like, ooh.
Hangman getting booed in Texas was crazy.
That's crazy.
But Hangman, he said, hey, everybody. I just want the record to show. I want everybody to know that from how I acted last week, I was not mad. I was not mad.
Me when I lie.
He said, you know what? Well, actually, the reason why I said what I said is if you all remember, Swerve said that he was going to beat me, and he didn't do it. He didn't do it.
The rules.
These are the rules.
Sister had a baby, and the baby. Sorry, go ahead.
The rules said, like, no, Hangman is completely unhinged. Like he's lost it. And then when he pointed his Swerve, his finger out of his
there before,
and then they start bickering. And then starts, you want to do this again? You want to do this again? Well, we're going to do this again? Really?
And you know, it was funny though, because Hangman, one of his lines was like, "You can't beat me. You couldn't beat me." And Swerve was like, "I did. Like, I did." And so like, what the hell? I understand. Oh, okay. I understand Swerve being like, "What? Go away," because all you do is piss me off. But that's what it's like to have ops. Okay, you want to.
Is that what it's like to have ops, or is that what it's like to be in love?
That could be the same thing.
H2O, same thing. You're right.
At the same time, every boyfriend I've ever had, probably not. So this whole thing definitely gave. Even Samoa Joe was like, "Yeah, domestic dispute." I was like, "That's what it is." Y'all obsessed with each other. Happy Valentine's Day.
Hello.
But yeah, I'm so excited for this match. There's no way it doesn't absolutely bang.
Also, Hangman looks exactly like Magnum TA. Like, he's fully made the transition now. Like, he looks exactly like Magnum TA for all old school wrestling fans. He's stuck between Magnum TA and Stan Hansen, and do with that information as you wish. Yes, and then Joe said, listen, cut it out. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of y'all fighting. Whatever, do what you want.
It's not even about y'all.
Kill you.
I'm the champ.
And you think that you're gonna pin him, and he think he gonna pin you? No.
I said, wait.
I said exactly, and that's real star power, because a lesser man, and I'm not gonna name names, but if they were stuck between Hangman and Swerve in the midst of the hottest feud in professional wrestling today, I don't think that they would have still been able to come across as a killer. I'm somebody in the comments saying, like, he's an afterthought. I don't think so. I don't feel that way, because Joe has acknowledged that, these two are obsessed with each other. I am going to, and I am going to rise above this. None of you are on my level. Like, he has made it very, very clear that mentally he's tapped in on a whole different level to these guys. And so I think that that's one of the things I really like. I think that Joe has made himself seem important.
And I think
amidst this, yeah.
Okay, no, I was just gonna say, I see where you're coming from a little bit, because these two have a story that makes sense. So putting it in a triple threat with somebody who's not directly connected to that storyline, I see how it can come across a little bit as, odd man out. But I think it's probably a good thing, because the odd man out is the champion. And exactly. I think that what we're going to end up doing is that Swerve and Hangman do get so obsessed with each other that they take each other out. Samoa Joe retains, because obviously this isn't going to main event Sting's last match. So if that's the build and that's the setup, it's like, okay, y'all weren't ready to challenge me. Y'all were, like you said, on another mental level, obsessed with each other. You're not obsessed with being champion. You're not there.
Exactly.
And I think if we are able to tell that story and like craft it in a way that makes sense, I think that's great, actually. But I see where you're coming from.
I also think it was so funny. Hangman said, yeah, Joe. And that's why me and you should wrestle each other one-on-one, because we take this seriously. We're championship caliber. We take this seriously, and Swerve isn't a man of his word. He can't beat me. So we need to fight. And I'm just like, Hangman, I love you. But Swerve did beat you twice. He did.
The scoreboard, baby.
He did.
I don't know.
He hung you.
I don't know. Is the undertone of white privilege supposed to be in the story, or?
I don't think so. I
think it is. I think it's obviously not like over. And Hangman is we're not talking about him, but I actually do think it is a sense of entitlement and Swerve has talked about it before. Like, like you were gifted a lot of your spot and a lot of where you were positioned. And now, like you said, even that line of being like, it should be you and me. Why would that make sense? Because Swerve has beat you 3 times, you know?
You know what, though? And that actually is a good point, because I think that babyface Hangman would never admit to that, right? Like, babyface Hangman is like, I want to work for everything that I do and like stuff like that. But heel Hangman,
he's like, I should have this.
He's like, give me all of the entitlement. Give me all of the shortcuts. I deserve this. Like, you know what? And so he's like, he's giving into the nepotism. Like he's giving into it. Like heel Hangman is so interesting, because like babyface him never wants to be given anything. But this version of him,
he's willing to take it.
If it means that Swerve won't have it, he's willing to take it. So I digress. Very interesting stuff. Moving on.
Maybe that's just my Black Studies degree, huh?
I think that's absolutely like correct. Like, even the critical race thing. It's gonna take this to a whole different conversation. Happy Black History Month, y'all. But you're correct. Moving on. What was next on the card? We had the Timeless Tony short film. Tony Storm. Okay, girl. I'm locked in.
That budget must have been crazy because I said, hold on, that editing was high quality.
And I'm gonna be honest, like I know a lot of people would be like, Tony Khan doesn't care about women's wrestling. With the budget that he's paying on these short films, he got to care about something.
Mm-hmm.
Because that was not cheap.
Mm-mm.
They in the booth for Timeless Tony, okay? They are in the booth. She said, "You are my." What did she say? My bosom of brilliance. She said she was my
teat of talent.
She said she was my young girl in Stardom. Do you know how disrespectful
that's crazy? That's crazy.
That is so disrespectful. I said, "Ooh, my young girl." She gave Wheeler Yuta treatment.
I was about to say Wheeler Yuta core.
You really Yuta core. And so I think that was so interesting, and I didn't know what they were doing for the longest. And then at the end, when you see she's getting that tattoo done on her ankle, a dagger.
Now let me say that tattoo ugly as hell.
No, it is. Oh, it's fucking disgusting.
That's
awful.
But it was a great way for it. I'm just a hater, so I always got to come back to that.
After this feud, respectfully, Tony and Deanna, both of y'all need to get that shit removed. You can get it redone or something, but it looks.
I know a guy.
I think y'all was drunk and Rapungi when y'all got that done. Like respectfully. Hey, but this was great. And then after that, we had Deonna Purrazzo was backstage with Renee. And she's like, Renee said, girl, what do you think? I don't even got words. Deonna said, you know what? I don't got words for her either. I'm going to break your arm, bitch. I said, that's what I'm talking about. That is what I'm talking about. Let's get
all I needed.
We need to get back to basics in women's wrestling. Like, I'm going to be honest, like, sometimes I think that we've leaned a little bit too much into the women's empowerment. Do that in the ring. Respectfully. Like do that in the ring, you know? Do that in the ring, like the women's empowerment and stuff like that. Woo. But yeah, I like when people get a little gutter butt, you know, in the promos. I like that. You know, the Queen Trish Stratus was great at that, of just like, you know, somebody has to go low sometimes.
I know it'll be me all the time, but it was just funny the way you said it was like, should women vote?
Somebody has to go low sometime, and so you know, and I think that I'd rather you have a short, succinct, memorable promo that everybody's going to remember exactly what you said than trying to drag out your mic time and and hit points. Like, you know, I'm going to break your arm, bitch. We're all going to remember that.
Yeah. And we just did.
We just did. Look, I didn't even have to look. No notes. I didn't have to read no notes.
But yeah, I agree with you.
She looked good too. She looked good.
Period.
Deanna's been the first couple TV outfits I wasn't a full fan of, but she's getting into it. I've liked her last few get-ups. I'm a fan.
Yeah. I was just gonna say I agree with you on that. Sometimes I feel like in the women's division we're doing things just for the sake of doing them.
Yes.
And it always comes across that way. Like it doesn't work. And yeah, so it is kind of trying to find that balance between like, okay, there's clearly, you know, some more effort that needs to be given into making sure that this division feels the way it needs to feel and comes across that way. But forcing things just doesn't make sense. But don't worry, because I know somebody that's gonna help get the house in order. So
somebody just asked that question. Will getting Mercedes Moné helping improve the women's division? Yes. And honestly, to be quite honest, I think it's going to help the entire roster, men included. Just like one thing that I think that AEW has been missing for a while, and I think that it's been changing this year, is star presentation. Because I think that, you know, Kenny was playing background for like, you know, most of last year, like, you know, and I feel like, and I attribute a lot of this to Hangman and Swerve of that really, you know, going, and then the Samoa Joe title change, right? And like the Bucks coming back of just, it feels now like superstar presentation. I think that the women's division specifically has kind of lacked that for a very long time. Absolutely. Toni Storm has been doing a good job as far as like, changing that perception. I think that how they've introduced Deonna has made her seem like an actual star. And like, even Queen Aminata coming in, like the way that she carries herself, that type of star presentation, and Mercedes, that mega star.
Yeah, she's a whole nother level.
She's a whole different level to catapult to be like, oh yeah, we do serious.
This is serious.
This is big business. Literally, this is a big business. This is not like a number 2 wrestling company. This is big business. Like, this is the only wrestling company. Like, this is the type of, we don't even acknowledge other people. We only focus on what we got going on. Like, we are everything. And so, like, that's the type of attitude that I think people are looking for from AEW. And that's what I really like right now about the AEW. Because here's the thing, like, when you look at the ratings and everything of just, I was scared for the longest. I was just like, oh, what if he goes back to like the MJF first stuff, because like the ratings aren't where they, where everybody wants them to be. But you know what? I think that truly you have to be consistent. Like, and I think that AEW digging in their heels right now on the stuff that they're doing and saying like, we're going to stick to this sports-based presentation. Yeah. We're going to stick to, pushing the elite again. We're going to stick to, pushing wrestling first. You're going to have your short-term ills, but the long-term victories, I guarantee it. Like, if you keep your core fans happy, and I think that Revolution is going to be proof of that. Yeah, the sky's the limit. No pun intended.
I think, yeah, I mean, I think that, well, first off, I literally tweeted earlier, people keep talking to me about ratings and ticket sales. Why would I care?
Do we work there?
I don't work there. Tony Khan is not mailing me a check.
And also, like, the thing is, respectfully, y'all say all that stuff, but their AEW has overproduced for Warner Brothers Discovery.
Yeah, for what they thought the metric was gonna be.
They have a better chance of retaining their TV deal than WWE did for theirs, because SmackDown underperformed, drastically underperformed. That's why it's moving. Like, like let's just be real. Like, AEW has blown like all of their projections out of the water. And so, like, let's just be for real, guys. And
yeah. So everybody that thinks it's a flex coming in my mentions. First of all, I enjoy both companies, but second of all, nobody pays me.
None.
Nary a one. Okay, none. Shut up. Unless of course Tony Khan wants to put me on the payroll. But after the shit I said about the submersive, I'll take that L.
I think also of just, we have to remind ourselves, like, comparing apples to oranges, TBS, TNT are in hundreds of thousands less homes than they were last year. Like, do people pay attention to like actual like real cable stuff of how so many cable networks have been losing channels and different stuff like that? Like
Nielsen ratings. No, I don't. Maybe other people do.
I do pay attention just a little bit, because sometimes like they mail you get things in the mail. Like if you fill out a little thing, they'll mail you $20. Nielsen to do that. So they'll do like a TV, like if you do like a TV log sometimes, like just so they can get like a gauge of like what people are in homes are watching. Like, it's like survey testing. So they'll do like random survey testing and they'll mail people. And then they'll be like, hey, if you
I gotta tap in. My broke arrow been going on too long. Anyway,
$20.
Hey.
But I said all that to say, I think that this is going to work out. I think they just need to stay consistent. And I think that the best days are truly ahead. And I think that this has been, specifically with the women's division, I think that the stuff that they're doing with Toni and Deonna, it has made the title feel like a really big deal. And I think that they needed that again. But moving forward to to the real shenanigans, I think Bucks versus Top Flight. Matthew and Nicholas, they still got that shit on, and not in the fun way.
Vice presidents of All Elite Wrestling.
They still have the bloody suits on with Darby and Sting's blood on them.
It's a great touch.
Excellent touch. They've now wrestled in those twice because they wrestled in on Rampage too. Listen, I never thought that I could love Matthew and Nicholas any more than I already do, but somehow they have overly and abundantly exceeded all of my expectations. This is delicious. Also, before I get into that, Action Andretti, if you continue to guzzle that water in front of me, I'm calling the cops.
I'm calling HR.
I'm calling the cops. Enough.
It's getting federal.
Enough. Anyway, Bucks versus Top Flight on Dynamite. It just feels right. It feels like great. Home. Like, it feels like, oh, this is AEW. Because when AEW is AEW, tag team wrestling matters, and this was great. And I think the finish protected Top Flight. And I will say a lot of dirty finishes tonight. This was for Dynamite. This was a lot of
really. But, I guess I didn't add them together, but yeah.
Oh yeah. But I feel like they protected Top Flight because we're definitely going to revisit this match down the line.
Oh, absolutely. I love Top Flight. I always have. They are so talented. And I think every time that they've wrestled with the Bucks, they just come across as, also the Bucks, I think, absolutely bring out the best in people in every match that they have. We gotta. I need some movement on Top Flight, like expeditiously. I want them to be a staple in the tag team division. I want to go ahead and get Action Andretti so we can put them trios belts on him.
I think, and you know what? I think it's coming. Like, I think that after Revolution.
Yeah, me too.
Once the belts are on the Bucks, I think that we're going to revisit.
See the vision.
Yeah, I see the vision. I think that the Bucks are so great at character work, and this is like everybody who says that they don't do character works, like, you're not paying attention. Like, to them going over to the commentary booth and like checking it, and like it's just making like the referees like say everything again. Like, they're so great at the little things, and it was fantastic. And so afterwards, obviously they get the finish in a bastardly way. Then Tony Schiavone comes in there. Nicholas Lee.
Fine.
Nicholas Lee. Fine. Nicholas Lee pushed Tony Schiavone. And then Matthew was like, chill.
Can you blame them? I mean, they're old, they're tired, and they work with a bunch of children.
Please stop. Please stop. I have left those times in 2022. And you people keep bringing me back. Oh, anywho, like I said, they were put like the Tony Schiavone stuff, and then like Matthew trying to help him up, and then Nicholas reaching out his hand, and then it looks like they're about to go for the EVP trigger, and then Darby comes out. Like, it's just the little things. I really enjoyed that.
But half a second late was very funny to me because they were looking towards the ramp and like, Darby, but he was moving. I was sitting there, I was like, come on, track star, the Olympics gonna happen. You better. You think you're going up that mountain? Mm-mm. Exactly.
And then
the Darby promo. Go ahead.
The Darby promo, I really liked it. I don't think that we needed the Cody chants, but everything else was fine.
It is Black History Month.
Don't start. Don't start. Please. Enough. I've had enough. I have had it. Enough. Now, everybody's so fake. Now, like somebody said in the comments, that ain't Miss Coney. Yeah, no, enough. We're never going back down that road. Have fun. Finish the story. I don't give a fuck. Keep that over there. Whatever y'all got going on.
Well, I want to thank Cody Rhodes for ending racism.
Having a mixed baby.
Great point. But I will say there were some people in my mentions calling me the N-word, so I don't know what Cody's plan is to take care of that, because he told me it was done. So I just hoping we can circle back. So if y'all can get that message to Cody Rhodes, we have to have a racism follow-up. That's all.
Well, good luck. That's another wrestling company's problem. I can't be bothered with what they're doing in Stanford. But yes, I don't but hey,
I liked the Darby promo. I thought people were kind of shitting on it. I thought it came across as genuine, and I thought it fit with,
it felt super genuine,
of the storytelling and the build of the match. Darby being like, I wasn't on the first episode of Dynamite, but Brandon Cutler was. I said, good point.
Now, I will say, what y'all said fuck Brandon Cutler for? Now, Brandon Cutler ain't bothered nobody. Brandon Cutler ain't been on TV since I don't know when. Now, leave him alone, man. He ain't do nothing to nobody. He barely be in the country. He been wrestling everywhere.
I mean, why not hate, though?
I'm not a Brandon Cutler hater. Now, do I want to watch him wrestle? No, but he's a good stooge. He's a fun stooge.
But I thought, someone said LMAO when Matt was like, "What's wrong with Brandon Cutler?" Matthew, I want to correct, so that will actually be a fine. But yeah, I thought Darby did well. We know promos sometimes are not his strongs too. But yeah, and I didn't feel like that lacked, and I thought that I think it's really going to piss people off that haven't been paying attention, or maybe are paying too much attention.
Yeah.
That like the whole, Young Bucks says EVPs, the whole, that they politic their way into this match. That's the point.
And my favorite part is that I really liked Matt Jackson responding to Matthew Jackson.
Another fine.
Matthew Jackson responding to everything that Darby was saying was just like, you talking about Kenny Omega? He's not here. He said, Kenny's not here. Kenny's not here. And then, what's wrong with Brandon Cutler? What's wrong with Brandon Cutler? Like, literally, he's so funny. And also them putting the graphic up of number one contenders, Matthew Jackson. I thought it was just such a nice touch. It's so over the top. It's so like obnoxious.
On brand for
nothing but respect for my EVPs. They threatened everybody with fines tonight, and I think it was hilarious. And it's so funny because the whole concept of fines really came after Brawl Out, and now that everybody's made like a laughing stock out of it, it's kind of funny. And I know it makes some people see it.
Now, I don't know how it's gonna work because Bryan Danielson be fining niggas too. So I'm like, you gotta pay double the fine. Is that the BD tax and the EVP tax? That's crazy.
Yes, they're playing the EVP tax,
and collision and Dynamite fine.
The BD tax, and for those of you who still talk to Cody, I guess maybe he got a tax for you too. I don't know.
I'm sure he does.
Moving on, we had an Acclaimed and Bullet Club Gold, the Bang Bang Scissor Gang promo. It was with Renee. They were basically talking about they need to have a match. They said 10-man tag. Not 10 man. 12 men. It's 12.
That's 12. Too many men.
12 mini men.
That's too many.
Mini men? Yeah. Many men. Wish that for me. But yeah, I mean, I didn't feel any type of way towards this.
I didn't care.
It happened. What I do like though, I do love the running joke of Colton Gunn being like the I don't even know what to call him. Like, he's not a stooge, but he's like the guy that nobody really listens to. Cause he said, "Hey, let's do a 12-man tag." Okay. Everybody was like, "Oh, okay." And then his daddy said, hey, let's do a 12-man tag team and say, yeah. And it's funny because like, in Bullet Club Gold lore, you know that he's the only one who doesn't have a nickname. And so he's been asking them, he's been asking Jay for like months, like, when am I gonna get a nickname? Like, I don't have a
spoiler alert, you're not.
He's been asking everybody to get a fun nickname, and so that's been super fun and exciting. But yeah, after that, we had our main event, which was Orange Cassidy and Matt Taven. I think I know your thoughts on this already. Here's the thing. If this was a street fight, if this was branded as a street fight, I think so many of us would be much higher on it. But because it was branded as a Texas death match, you know, I don't think that it was able to live up to expectations. And here's the thing with the Texas death match in AEW, there's a lot of different elements that make it hot, respectfully. One is a blood feud. Like, I think that the blood feud has to be there. Like, I understand that Orange and Matt Taven are related, kind of, but they're not really direct rivals. You have to either hate or secretly be in love with your opponent. That type of heat was not there. And you know who, this is all Hangman Page's fault, I will say, because of the death matches he's had. He's the king of the Texas death match, and he was able to just basically spark this super unique chemistry with both of these guys. And then two, for the Texas death match, I think that you need time. And so I'd have no idea why they started at 9:51. Whatever. And then three, for the AEW Texas death match, I think that you have to be the hottest, one of the hottest feuds in the company to be able to pull it off. And I don't think that this achieved that. And I understand what they were going for. You know, the running joke has been like, Texas death matches are the greatest shows of affection and love, and it's Valentine's Day, and they were in Texas. And I understand to an extent, but it wasn't there as far as, you know, the chemistry. And I think you have to have two elite wrestlers in there. And I don't think you had two elite wrestlers in there. I think you had one, maybe a mostly elite wrestler, and then a really good wrestler in there. But it wasn't enough to sink your teeth into. However, the last 5 minutes were insane. Matt Taven, I thought he broke his neck.
Oh, me too. That spot was crazy.
Absolutely not. And I'm gonna be honest now, the candy box with the text, I thought that was fire. I'm not gonna.
I thought that was, I liked that.
I did like that. I like that.
That was a good thing. I will say, I agree with you. When I first saw that it was announced as a Texas death match, when I first saw the match announcement, I was like, why are they even mad at each other, let alone Texas death match mad? Like, that is insane. And to your point, like the last Texas death match we had, Hangman drank that man's blood. Hello? All right?
Wake it up.
This is not, we can't just go from that to, you know, and we knew why Hangman was doing it. Was it not?
I thought Brian and Ricky was the last one.
Sure.
And you know, even that one, we were like, oh, that was the weakest Texas death match to AEW.
Like, you have to mean it. Texas death match, you have to want to kill that
and guy. The strap match that they did, I think, was so much better. And so, like, the Texas death match was okay, but it was like, you have to, it's just that you gotta have.
That's like, to me, it's like the AEW like last resort final boss. It's nothing else worked. I hate you so much. Texas death match.
I want you dead. Like,
we're done with this. This is over today. And you know, the problem with doing the Texas death match as a build to another match is now at Revolution, you know,
what are the stakes?
What are the stakes?
Like, I know the title's on the line, but yeah, it is confusing. And I think, like, right now, I would love to. And the thing is, you have Orange Cassidy, who's heading, like, seems to be becoming darker. And I'm not sure, like, we saw that. Like, we didn't see a lot of that because, you know, like, I guess the Kingdom is supposed to be, like, these the heels. It was confusing. Like, don't get me wrong, spots at the end were great. Trent made a great cameo here, but I think that this could have been a much better as a Texas tornado street fight tag street fight. Like, like,
don't call it a Texas death match. That has a different meaning.
Exactly.
Yeah, somebody said that. Yeah.
Texas death matches in AEW, like, if you are not shooting, like, here's the thing: every Texas death match that
you gotta slap that guy,
that Hangman Page has been in, has been either 4.5 or 5. That's it. Like, it's above, like, above excellent. Like, and you also have to have just a little bit of unresolved sexual tension with your opponent. I'm sorry, you do.
It's important.
It's the
truth. One of the keys to success is what I've heard. But yeah, the match itself. Now, I'm not shitting on the match itself. I had fun. I was watching this match, and like you said, like, the last little bit definitely felt rushed because we were over on time, and I would have loved for, in a Texas death match, for us to build on the drama. Didn't necessarily feel like we had as much of an opportunity to do that, but I did love the spots at the end. Matt Taven, my apologies because I was not quite familiar with your name. Yeah, he was moving. And so, yeah, it's not like I'm sitting up here thinking that the match was bad. I will say it didn't make any sense.
I'm gonna be honest, I don't mind Overrun. I've kind of like prepared myself for Overrun recently, and I think that's because, like, I grew up the kid watching Monday Night Raw, and I used to have to always add 15 minutes on the DVR because I knew they were going over. So, like, I'm not really mad about, like, them going over, but it's certain matches you shouldn't go over with. And I think I said this on my podcast when me and Drip were talking about the steel cage match over in New Japan. And I was saying, like, this is the problem with Blood and Guts. And that's why I think that Blood and Guts is an amazing concept. I think the AEW has done as well with it as they possibly can. I think that they've had great contenders in it. They've had great spots. However, the biggest problem is that it's on TV. For a match like that to be what it's supposed to be, the TV restrictions as far as timing and everything really limits it.
Absolutely.
And I think
the same here.
Exact same here. And so I think that, a different stipulation could have gone better, or maybe, like, a different working around of the opponents. And so, like I said, the Texas Death Match has really kind of become AEW's signature match. That and maybe like the Lights Out match. And so I think I know, to be honest, I'm probably never going to go back and rewatch this match. And I have gone back.
But I liked it. I want to clarify. I'm not, because I love to hate, but I enjoyed this match. There were some really fun spots. Matt Taven, him and that table, straight onto the announce desk. That was insane, and I loved it, and it was great. And it's not
that I just hate, like, I think that all TV Texas death matches aren't good, because guess what? Hangman Adam Page, once again, has had 2, and they've been great, especially that Lance Archer one. I've gone back and rewatched that one numerous times because of how good it is. And so, like, I'm a big person of, like, I am a big rewatcher. I am a big rewatcher of, like, if I really love a match, I'm going to go back and rewatch it. And so I think about most of the Texas death matches in AEW have had very high rewatch values for me. I don't think this one does. Great spots. Maybe, like, I'll go rewatch a clip on Twitter, but I just think that it was more so of a booking thing. I think that both guys did with the best that they could with it. Like I said, I think so much of this is going to balance out, like, after Revolution. I think that for Orange just needs to drop the title for him to move forward. And I think that Kingdom needs to gain a title to make them, look more formidable. And so maybe I'm just being, like, delusional, or just being overly optimistic.
I love a good delusion.
Yeah,
No, you're right. I
think that everything is going to straighten.
Come on, girl. You've had great matches. This second title run, let's wrap it up.
You need, like, I think he needs something to get inspired. Be inspired.
Yeah, I think we should see other people. I think it will be mutually beneficial.
Absolutely. So I think that, and I'm never going to be one of those people like Orange Cassidy's terrible. Like, no, listen, I have Orange Cassidy socks I love Orange Cassidy. And that's why I know like this isn't his best work right now. And so I think that he just needs something different. And like, and I don't think a lot of it was his fault, putting that title back on him that quickly. You know,
we should not have done that. And obviously injuries played a role, but then we stuck with it, you know?
Yeah.
And I don't feel like we needed to do that.
Until Konosuke Takeshita was literally right there. But that's a whole nother thing. Somebody said I joined the live late today. Did Lyrics say she's gone to Revolution already or not? Listen, please don't get me beat up. Listen, we live and trying to live right today, but
clearly that has not worked. If there's any such thing as being canceled before you start, they should name it after me. Lyric is going to Revolution. Danielle is not.
Okay, I don't know if I am doing media yet or not. I don't know. I haven't gotten an email or anything yet, but I have a ticket regardless. So yeah, Lyric's going to Revolution regardless. I'm sorry.
You know what they said? They actually said we can only have one Black woman, so they're gonna check you at the door. They gotta keep an eye on you.
I can't say what I want to say right, while we're still live, but just know you have no idea how close you are right now. I can't say
you walk in just a check mark. Yep.
I can't confirm nor deny.
Happy Black History Month.
And the thing is, let me shut up. Let me just shut up.
Yeah, you need to. Yeah, you got some standing. I got nothing to lose.
I don't have standing. What I was going to say is like I don't think it's systemic. I think it's a lot of different factors. A lot of like the recognized media sometimes like and Black people, a lot of them like don't want to go sometimes to AEW stuff. I think that's starting to change. I'm starting to see more people like, okay, let me get in and start. I want to start covering AEW events, but like in the past, like I've seen a lot of people like that's just not what they want to do. And so I think that that perception is starting to shift. And then it also like depends on region too. Of like,
yeah, for sure.
For example, like Seattle, I saw a lot of people. I was surprised Black people. And then like, then I go to like All In, I'm the only Black woman in the room. And so, and Toronto was the same too. So it really depends on region. I have high expectations for North Carolina because we're in the South, but I also have low expectations because I know for a fact that it's Sting's last match. So literally everybody and their mama are trying to get into that scrum.
I'm sure.
And also, and I'm gonna be honest, there's a lot of people who only apply for media tech passes because they can't afford tickets.
She just called y'all broke. Did y'all hear that?
Listen, don't get me wrong, I am broke, but when I want something, I don't care if somebody's going to give it to me or not.
You know me, they call me Mr. Make It Happen. So I
see. Exactly. Like when the Revolution pre-sale came out, like ain't nobody ever gonna tell me where I can and can't be as far as like, if I really want to be there. When the Revolution pre-sale happened, I got my seat. I said for Sting's last match because
I'm seated.
I think sometimes like people get so, and this is the whole tangent, but I think sometimes people get so swept up in like wanting to be in the room and the media stuff, like they forget that the reason why most of us are here, should be here, is because we're fans. Like, I'm a wrestling fan above all. Like I went to Full Gear. I wasn't even media, but I had the time of my life as a fan. I got great seats on the floor, like so I still I go to some shows as media and it's fun. And then I have 2 sets of seats for Wrestle Dream. Yeah. Like I had 2 sets of seats for All In and I had 2 sets of seats for Forbidden Door. Yeah. And so I think sometimes people forget like the importance of being a fan. And
I enjoy it. Oh my God.
And like I think that was the cool thing about my Japan trip too, is like for some of the shows I'm media, but for some of them I'm just a fan. Like I got to go to all the Stardom shows as just a fan. That Quirk and DDT show I was there as just a fan. So I think that a lot of times people get so caught up in wanting to be the one that they forget that we're all wrestling fans at the end of the day.
So you know what? The overarching theme is just be normal
and get
Stop
your money
weird. Get your money up. Stop being weird. And
enjoy wrestling.
But also make time to hate.
Yes. Yeah, well, yes.
Yes, of course.
Well, yes. I mean, I didn't say enjoy all wrestling. I said enjoy your wrestling. Like, yes, always make time to be a hater. Duh. Words of wisdom. I think that's a great way to end off. Thank you for joining us, and drink water and mind your business. Amen. This is a great way to end off. Thank you for joining us for the Dynamite Book. Next week, I'm not sure if I'm going to be doing the show next week. I'm still, and let me tell you why. I haven't made a decision yet, but
it's your birthday.
Yes, it's my birthday.
I remembered.
I don't think that I have plans though. So I think I'm gonna be honest. I'm lying. I'm gonna do this show. I ain't got nothing. I'm lying to you. I'm lying.
That was me sitting up here. I was like, "Oh, Valentine's Day." I said, "Nah."
I forgot. But hey, man, I'm serious about them slam chats next week, and I'm gonna put my cash out down here. I've made a lot of you giggle and gag. Okay, I need, even if it's just $1. Come on, guys. Like, I turned 26 next week. I've had a very hard last couple of weeks. And so, show your girl and your girls some love, because it's still Black History Month. Hello. Yeah. And
it's about to be Women's History Month too. So
and it's about to be Women's History Month. And I like to consider February 15th through March 15th Black Women's
History. Exactly.
It's Black Women's History Month from February 15th to March 15th.
The overlap, I'm gonna go crazy.
Overlap. It's so beautiful, amazing, super fragilistic expialidocious, to be exact. So I think I'm gonna be on here next week, and it's gonna be my birthday. So everybody better be turned up. Period.
Oh, I will be.
So
I'll get drunk for you. Don't worry.
Yesterday's price is not today's price. On that note, where can the people find you?
Why'd I forget? Oh, new handle at Dani Don't Miss and at Black Girl Wrestling on Twitter and on Instagram.
And you can find me at Lyric Wrestling on the Twitters and the Instagrams, and you can subscribe to my YouTube channel at Lyric Swinton. My Maps and Graps podcast is on there, as well as all of my interviews. I recently got my dream interview with Athena. Amazing experience.
Yeah.
I can't say enough good things about it without crying. So yeah, it was amazing. And I have some more interviews coming out for Black History Month, some more content, articles, really big stuff I'm excited to share. And so yeah, that's where we are. Thank you for opening another chapter of the Dynamite Book with us. And now it is closed. The door is closed. And we will talk to you next week. Bye.
Bye.